Hi friends, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful afternoon where we are all geared up to talk about the gateway to central Switzerland, Lucerne. Yes, it's a beautiful country, beautiful destination, beautiful city, and I'm sure all of you are waiting to hear more about beautiful Switzerland. Before introducing my panelists and jumping into the webinar today, I have a few housekeeping announcements for you. Firstly, on top of your screens, there is a reconnect button. So in case anything goes wrong, you can't hear us, you can't see us, please press that reconnect button and you should be able to hear us and see us after that. Today's webinar is extremely interactive, so we have a really fun-filled 1 hour plan for you. So please ask questions. There is a chat tab on your screen. Please feel free to go into the chat tab and ask questions at any point during the webinar. We will be addressing those questions towards the end of the webinar. So please go in and ask questions at your convenience. Along with, just to make it more interactive, along with the question and answers, we also have polls and videos for you. Videos will play during the presentation and the polls will pop up on your screens. To respond to the polls, you need to vote on the voting tab or the polls tab on your screen. If you add your response to the chats tab, it does not get counted. So please remember to vote on the polling or the voting tab on your screens. We also have the exciting Switzerland quiz at the end of this webinar. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know about this quiz already, but I'm not going to say more. All I'm going to say is pay attention to the webinar and you will be very happy to know more about the quiz towards the end of the webinar. I've made some documents available for you to download at your convenience as well. So anytime during the webinar, you can go in and download those documents. And finally, and most importantly, a recording of this webinar will be made available to you in the next 24 hours. So in case you missed out on anything, we will send out a link with a recording of the webinar and you should be able to see the webinar again then at your convenience. So now I'm jumping right into the Switzerland webinar and getting all geared up to talk more about Lucerne. With me, I have Mr. Amir Kamath, the Business Development Manager, Leisure for Switzerland Tourism. And joining us all the way from Switzerland is Charmaine Arnold, Market Manager for Lucerne Tourism. Thank you both. Thank you for being here and joining us today.
Thank you so much, Devika, for conducting this webinar for us as well. It's great to be back with our first webinar of 2024, and I'm glad that all our friends from the travel trade can attend and learn a bit more about one of the most popular destinations in the India market, which is Lucerne. It's frankly on the travel list, on the bucket list of most travelers. And we're going to have a very fun-filled webinar for you where we talk to you about the various product offerings in and around the Lake Lucerne region. So welcome everybody to our first webinar, and we have 6 more, and we're looking forward to bringing you a lot of Switzerland as the days go by as well. Today's presenters, as Devika mentioned, is me, Amir Kamath. I'm the Business Development Manager for Leisure Travel. I handle all the travel trade, B2B activities at Switzerland Tourism for the country. And I have Charmaine Arnold from Lucerne Tourism, who's the market manager and in charge of the India market at Lucerne Tourism. And along with her, there are going to be a few more partners who are going to make little cameo appearances during her presentation. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really engaging and interactive. Before that, a few things I would love to highlight since we had our first full year of tourism in 2023. It's at the same time that Switzerland and India completed 75 years of friendship, 75 years of diplomatic ties. So Switzerland and India have been friends for over 75 years now. And the objective is to continue that relationship, continue to move forward on all spheres. And that includes tourism. Switzerland loves India. Indian travelers love Switzerland. And we'd like as many of your clients to visit Switzerland over the coming season and all the other seasons that come after it. A short video to highlight this friendship just for your information. Devika, if you don't mind. So it really has been an incredible journey with Switzerland, as well as with Indian travelers visiting Switzerland. Of course, before you visit Switzerland, you need to keep a few points in mind, and that's a lot to do with with the visas. It's always a question. So just a few points to note for you. Just that as of now, the appointments are available as per the information availability slots mentioned on the VFS Global portal. They are the official document processing team in charge of collecting documents and sending it to the embassy visa section. Current processing time remains minimum 13 to 15 working days from the time the application and documents reach the visa section. Now, and this is something that we advocate for smooth visa processing. For the Swiss Schengen visa, you can apply up to 6 months in advance. So if your clients have confirmed and they're ready, as soon as possible, as much in advance as possible, please push them to apply for their visas so that the process is smoother and and it's easier to procure the visa post that. And yes, this is a very important point. The visas come under the sole authority of the Embassy of Switzerland visa section. So Switzerland Tourism has no role to play in the visa process, but we can provide you with the information. We do bridge the gap. So if you have any questions, queries relating to visas, any issues, any clarifications that you require, it's best to reach out to the Embassy visa section via their contact information. Their email ID is newdelhi.visa@eda.admin.ch. That's newdelhi.visa@eda.admin.ch. And you can write to them, and within 48 hours, they will reply. If you have anything to do, any questions regarding appointments and documentation, you're free to reach out to VFS or your contacts at VFS as well. Now, I don't want to keep you away from Switzerland, and neither do I like to be kept away from Switzerland. So without any further ado, I would hand over the platform to my colleague Jamin, who will take you through the beautiful city of Lucerne and all the fun stuff that your clients can enjoy during their holidays. Over to you, Jamin.
Thank you very much, Ameya, for this great introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Jamin, and I work for Lucerne Tourism. And today we have some time to introduce you to Lucerne and the Lake Lucerne region. We have many highlights, and as Ameya already mentioned, we also get to see other faces from our partners here in the region. So let's dive in. Most of you probably know Lucerne is located in the heart of Switzerland, so it's easy accessible from Zurich Airport, for instance. You can either take the train or by car. It only takes 50 minutes. So it's a great hub for your stay in Switzerland. Four seasons means 4 reasons to fall in love with Lucerne, Lake Lucerne region. As you can see, Lucerne is a great all-year-round destination, so I would love to present my highlights for every season. And let's start with spring. In spring, the snow mostly is gone, so the mountains are clear. You can find your way up to the mountain, even you hike up there, or you can also take a more convenient way, for instance, with the cable cars. And then you reach the top of the mountain and you can just enjoy the stunning view and breathe in the perfect mountain air. In summer, it usually gets quite hot, so my favorite thing to do is to hop into the lake to cool down, do some swimming. You can go stand-up paddling, so whatever you want. Summer is a great season to do all kinds of winter sports or just cooling down in the water. Autumn is my favorite season in Lucerne because usually there are less people, so it's a perfect opportunity to discover the city. You can see on the picture the leaves are very, very colorful, so it's quite a highlight to discover the city during that time of the year. And then in winter, we have many Christmas markets, so you can drink some mulled wine. And the highlight during winter time is the Lilu Light Festival, which always takes place in January. Sorry, it's during 2 weeks. So of course, there are not only 4 reasons to fall in love with Lucerne, Lake Lucerne region, but many more. So next to the sporting activities, there are cultural events. We have architectural highlights, and of course, delicious Swiss dishes to try. So we usually say that Lucerne is kind of little Switzerland. So you basically have everything. You have the city with a beautiful old town. You have the lake where you can take scenic cruises. And of course, you have the mountains. In the city itself, my personal highlight is the Musek Wall. So from the old town, it takes about 10 minutes. So it's only a short walk, and then you are basically on the wall in between those towers. So you can walk on the wall, you can even climb up the towers, and from there you have a beautiful view onto the city, the lake, and the mountains. What we always recommend is to attend a guided city tour. When I started with Lucerne Tourism 1 year ago, I also attended one, and it's just super interesting to get some background information of the history, and you also learn some fun facts. For instance, why the shape of the Lion Monument is the shape of a pig. If you prefer a more convenient way to discover the city, we have the so-called city train. It's a 45-minute ride through the city of Lucerne, and after that you've basically seen the main sites. So that's quite a cool way to discover Lucerne. Then, of course, we also have some culinary highlights. Here you can see some suggestions of different restaurants. So there is a huge variety of vegetarian and also vegan restaurants in the cities. So basically, whatever food you fancy, you will find something in Lucerne. So next to the city, we can, of course, also discover the surrounding areas. So you can do many excursions, and we will show you now some of the top highlights you can see in the Lake Lucerne region. And first of all, we start with Rigi. It is also called the Queen of the Mountains. So you might wonder where has it its name from? So there are different stories, but apparently many years ago, someone created a big map of Switzerland, and apparently Rigi was in the middle of its map. So that's why people started talking about Queen of the Mountains, because everything is surrounded of Rigi. And I think the name is very suitable because when you're on Mount Rigi, you have a 360-degree view. So it's the perfect spot to go. You can see onto the city of Lucerne. You can see towards the other side of the lake where I live. So you have a perfect view, and it's just stunning to see all those mountain peaks. As you can see on this picture, there's a lot of nature on Mount Rigi. So very few buildings. So when you're up in the mountain, you can really smell the grass, you get the fresh mountain breeze. So it's a perfect getaway from the city, I would say, if you are into nature activities. And Rigi is a very convenient mountain to reach. So it's not only very convenient, but it's also quite the adventure already to reach Mount Rigi. So from Lucerne, you take a cruise from the city towards Mount Rigi. So you can, for instance, get off at Fitznau. It's about a 1-hour cruise. So you can already enjoy the beautiful landscape. Then you change to those trains. So they have very modern trains, but also more historical ones. So whatever you prefer, you can just choose the train you want and select the route you want to go. And then after the train ride, you're basically already on top. And from there, you can enjoy the view, what we saw on the picture before. And as a small fun fact, they not only have trains on Mount Rigi, they also have like carriage rides. So if you tired of walking, you can also hop on one of those carriage rides and enjoy the beautiful scenery. Here we have some interesting facts about Mount Rigi. So basically, it was Europe's first mountain railway. So you can see there's a big history behind the mountain. It is included in Swiss Travel Pass, so it's fully covered. If you or your clients, if you own the Swiss Travel Pass, you can easily do the excursion to Mount Rigi because it's already covered. Mount Rigi is very popular with the Swiss people, so I would say it's probably the most visited mountain of Swiss citizens in Switzerland. And what is also good, the operation of Mount Rigi is open all year round. So also in winter, you get up to the top and you can enjoy the view. And as I said at the beginning, you can see a lot of mountain peaks. So in total, it is 620 mountain peaks. So you take the train up, then you do a short walk. I can show you again on this slide here. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So you arrive here by train and then you walk up this small path and within 20 minutes you reach the top. And from there you can have a look at the 620 mountain peaks and 13 lakes. So definitely a highlight. Next to Mount Rigi, there's another mountain highlight. It is Mount Pilatus. And we will now show look a short video where Manuela will explore Mount Pilatus with you.
Hello everyone, my name is Manuela and I'm on my way cycling to work to beautiful Mount Pilatus. By bicycle, it only takes me 20 minutes from my flat in Lucerne, but of course there's also more comfortable options for you, for example by public bus, train or even by boat. So we have taken the panorama gondola in Kriens and are on our way up to Mount Pilatus. On the way up we take a short break on Krienser Eck. Here we have a big playground for our smallest kids and behind me there's also a restaurant with fantastic pinza and pizza for the whole family. So we've reached the end of the panorama gondola and we're at the middle station of Eck, where we have the biggest rope park of central Switzerland. We have a 1.3 kilometer long toboggan run, a fly line called Dragon Glider, and much more activities that you can do here. You already see a little bit of Lake Lucerne, but I tell you the view will get even better once we reach the top of the mountain. We've just arrived at 2,132 meters above sea level. We've taken the aerial cableway, the Dragon Ride, all the way up to the mountain. I'm standing at the panorama terrace right now, enjoying the beautiful panorama of the city of Lucerne, of Lake Lucerne, of the flat area of Switzerland. On the other side, we see the Alps, over 70 peaks. And up here, apart from the view, there's much more to do. We have a dragon world, which explains all about why Mount Pilatus is also called the Dragon Mountain. We have 2 hotels, restaurants, souvenir stores, even a watch store. So there's plenty of things to do, or as we say, 2,132 opportunities above sea level. You can even stay overnight on Mount Pilatus, either in the 3-star Hotel Bellevue or here in the 4-star Hotel Pilatus Kulm, our historic mountain hotel, with beautiful views from every room to over 72 mountain peaks, as well as our cogwheel train, which will start operating again mid-May this year with brand new rail cars. So this is really the perfect time to come and visit Mount, and I hope to see you soon on top of the mountain.
So from Mount Pilatus, we will now continue to the Lake Lucerne, and Merit will explain you more on the Lake Lucerne Navigation Company.
Hello everyone, my name is Merit and I'm representing Lake Lucerne Navigation Company. We are offering 1 up to 5.5 hour cruises on the beautiful Lake of Lucerne. Here you can see a map of our departure piers. Pier 1 to 3 are located in front of the train station in Lucerne, and depending where the boat goes, it leaves from a different piers. These piers are for our point-to-point cruises. Pier 4 to 6 are dedicated to exclusive charters, and pier number 7, which is located on the other side of the bridge, very close to the shopping area, to the Schwanenplatz. This is where our panoramic yacht Sapphire is departing. Here you can see our panoramic yacht Sapphire. It is doing a 1-hour cruise in the Bay of Lucerne, includes a free audio guide in the 12 different languages, also in Hindi, and as it only takes 1 hour, it is great to combine with a city tour, with some shopping. Many clients do it when they're coming back from Mount Titlis, for example. It's a great way to relax after the mountain. There is a departure at 4 o'clock at 5:15, so very convenient to include in the itineraries after the visit on the mountain. Every day we're also offering a lunch cruise that is departing from Lucerne at 12 o'clock and comes back to Lucerne a bit before 2. And during the summer month, when the days are longer and the weather is a bit warmer, it is also possible to do a beautiful sunset cruise. On this map you can see the mountains that are surrounding Lucerne. As I said, after Titlis, it's very nice to include a 1-hour cruise on Lake Lucerne, but many of the mountains are also directly accessible by boat. A very popular option is the Mount Pilatus excursion, the Golden Round Trip. You can take a boat to arrive at the bottom station in Altnachstad of the steepest cogwheel in the world, taking you up to Mount Pilatus, and on the way back you can take the different cable cars to arrive back in Lucerne. Here you can see the routing. Another option is the excursion to Mount Rigi. You can take a boat from Lucerne to the bottom station in Fitznau and take the cogwheel to go up to the peak of Mount Rigi. Lake Lucerne is also part of the Grand Train Tour of Switzerland. The Gotthard Panorama Express is a panoramic train ride and boat ride that connects Lucerne with Lugano. You start with a relaxing boat cruise, including a lunch, to arrive to Flüelen, the end of the lake, and there you change to the panoramic train going to Lugano. We have a reseller shop where you can purchase our tickets directly. If you're interested to do so, you can always contact me and I will be happy to create a login in order for you to be able to purchase our tickets there. 18 of our boats can be chartered for private exclusive events, gala dinners, for example. And it is recommended for groups that are bigger than 80 people, and we can also offer Indian catering. We're working with an Indian restaurant in Lucerne, so if you have requests for Indian meals on the charter cruises, we can offer that as well. Here you can see the contact details of Rayo Choksi, who is not only representing Mount Titlis in India, but also Lake Lucerne Navigation Company, and also my contact details. Please feel free to get in touch with one of us if you have questions regarding the cruises on Lake Lucerne. Please also feel free to scan the QR code where you can access our trade corner on the website, where you find all the important information about our products, but also pictures and videos of our boats. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you on Lake Lucerne soon. Bye-bye.
So next to the beautiful mountain excursions, there is a lot more to see. For instance, a museum. My favorite museum in the city is the Swiss Museum of Transport. From the train station, you can either take the boat, which only takes about 10 minutes until you reach the museum, or you can go there by bus, which is about 20 minutes. So the Swiss Museum of Transport, it's not like a regular museum. It's a very interactive one. And the topic is mobility and transportation. So you will see different kinds of cars, airplanes, trains, and then you can just discover how the whole history of transportation evolved. The museum is very big, so you can easily spend one day there. I've just been there last Sunday, only in the afternoon, and we haven't seen all of it, so we will definitely go back. The good thing is it's not only for children, it's also very interesting for adults, and I would say it's a perfect museum for every age. So starting from 3 years up to, I don't know how many, you can visit the museum and learn something new. Next to the topic of mobility, they always have different kinds of exhibitions. So right now the topic is energy, and they change quite frequently. So really it's kind of a place to learn and to explore. They also have a Red Bull World of Racing. There everything is about cars. You can see the original cars from the races. There's even, you have the opportunity to change the tires. So I would love to experience that for once. And there's even a racing simulator, so you can experience how it feels to be in a race with the super fast cars. So this is definitely a highlight. In January, Neeraj Chopra has visited Lucerne, and he went to the Swiss Museum of Transport with his friends, and I would say this section of the museum was the favorite part for them. So next to the different exhibitions, you also have a small outdoor farm when you can see how the agriculture works today. And on the right-hand side, you see a picture of the planetarium. So when I was a child, this was always my favorite part because it feels like it's like a cinema. So you sit into the seats, you can even lay down a little bit, and then on the roof, kind of, you dive into the universe. You can see the different planets and the stars. So that's quite a cool experience. What they also have is a Swiss chocolate adventure. So that's a 20 minutes journey where you discover how the cocoa beans are picked up and how they are developed into chocolate. And after the ride, you even have the opportunity to taste some yummy Swiss chocolate. So you see, the Swiss Museum of Transport is huge. There's a lot to see, and I would highly recommend to plan this into your program because it's something for everyone. If you have more detailed questions about the museum, you can always reach out to me. And also here we have our contact person from the Swiss Museum of Transport. It's Marcel, and he's super quick with replying to your emails. So please don't hesitate and just reach out to him or to me directly. So now we presented you some excursions of the Lake Lucerne region, and we are coming to our first poll question. And I would like to know from you, for which of the following activities would you like to get more information?
Friends, the poll is live on your screens as we talk. Please go in and vote for the poll. I can see a lot of you have already started voting. It's lovely to see the responses coming in. But please go in and vote for your choice. Do not write this in the chat tab. Please click on the poll option that you want to vote for. So a nice mix of responses I'm getting. So for Mount Rigi, we have 37%. For Mount Pilatus, we have 25%. For Lake Lucerne Navigation Company, we are at a 22%. And for the Swiss Museum of Transport, we are at a 13%.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so Shami, over to you, Shami.
Thank you so much. So we have uploaded some documents for you, so you can have a look at this. And if you have specific questions about a mountain excursion or the Swiss Museum of Transport, please just let me know. I'm always happy to answer. That's what we're here for. And yeah, looking forward to get in touch with you. So now I would say we continue to the accommodation. The first hotel we would like to present is the Mandarin Oriental Palace in Lucerne. Some of you might know it as the Palace Hotel. So it used to be the Palace Hotel, which has been built in 1906, and now it has been taken over by the Mandarin Oriental family. They did some renovation, but they kept the original style. So the reopening of the hotel was in 2022. The Mandarin Oriental Palace in Lucerne is a 5-star hotel in the city. And they have beautiful rooms, which we can see here. So in total, it's 136 rooms, which means that the Mandarin Oriental is the biggest hotel of Lucerne. The categories always state in the name what your clients will get. So on the left-hand side, you can see a picture of the panoramic junior suite. So that's quite easy to understand. And then on the right-hand side, you have the superior lake view terrace room. So you already understand that there's a terrace and they have lake view. So in general, most of the rooms, no, I would say all of the rooms, they have lake view. So that's quite unique about the Mandarin Oriental. They have 88 normal rooms, 55 different kinds of suites. Then there are 2 rooftop terraces and 1 presidential suite. So I personally think the rooms look very pretty, and it must be beautiful to wake up and just enjoy the view onto the Lake Lucerne. Then next to the beautiful rooms, there are a lot of culinary highlights. In a Mandarin Oriental Palace, there are different dining options. So for instance, they have the Mozern and Brasserie. This is kind of a Mediterranean cuisine. It's also where the breakfast is being served. And I've just been told that they also got like a Sustainable Award for their food. Then on the left-hand side, you can see the restaurant Colonnade. It's a French restaurant, fine dining, with 1 Michelin star. Next to that, on the right-hand side, you can see the picture of the G10. So this is a a nice place right next to the lake. It's an outdoor terrace, so a very nice location to get some small snacks or just for drinks. Next to that, they also have the afternoon tea, which is served inside in kind of a lounge where you have big windows and you can overlook the Lake Lucerne. They work together with famous brands like Cartier or Boucherie, so they really want to enhance a high quality for their clients. And last but not least, there's also a nice spa. In the hotel, there is a sauna, a steam bath, special showers, and of course treatments like massages and everything. So for the spa, it's just important to know it's kind of a mixed spa, so they don't have it separated, but still it's very beautiful. So you can stay at a beautiful hotel, relax at the spa, or of course you can also go swimming in the lake because the hotel is right in front of the lake. So that's definitely also something to do. Here you can see your contact for the Mandarin Oriental Palace. Sasha started beginning of this year and he's super motivated. So if you have any questions or if you have clients that would be interested in staying at the Mandarin Oriental, just let him know. I'm sure he's happy to help. Or also here, you can always reach out to me and I can connect you with him. So then from the city, we go to another luxury property, which is the Bürgenstock Resort. So to reach the hotel, you can take a cruise. So Meret would be very happy. You take the Bürgenstock shuttle, as you can see here on the picture. It's about 25 minutes ride, and then you hop off the boat and you enter the funicular. You can see it even here in the back of the picture. So you drive towards here, then you change onto the funicular, and this funicular takes you up to the Bürgenstock Resort within 6 minutes. When you are on the Bürgenstock Resort, you can see that there are 3 different kinds of properties. So on the left-hand side, you can see the contemporary. This is a very, I would say, like the most modern building of the Bürgenstock Resort. And it also is connected with the spa and the infinity pool. Then in the middle, you have the heritage building. As the name already says, it's like rather old, but also here they did some restorations and renovations. So the style is still there, but just it's very modern and the rooms are very pretty. And on the right-hand side, the last property is the Wald Hotel. So Wald means woods in German, and this is just a very popular place to go for people when they would like to do some healthcare or just focus on their well-being. Here we have some impressions and the overview. So on the top picture, here on the right-hand side, you see the Wald Hotel. Then there's the Heritage Building and followed by the Contemporary Building. And the buildings on the left, these are kinds of residences, which also belong to the resort. And here again, on the right-hand side, on the lower pictures, you can see the Contemporary Building with beautiful views onto the Lake Lucerne. Within those properties, there are different kinds of dining options. So on the left-hand side, you can see the Spices and Terrace. This is an Asian restaurant with 16 gourmet points. And it's a very stunning location. So I was lucky enough to have dinner there once, and it's just beautiful. You see especially for sundowner, so you can enjoy how it gets darker, and you are just overlooking the Lake Lucerne and the surroundings, so that's very pretty. On the right hand side, there's the Parisa, so this is a Persian cuisine, and also here you can see the big windows where you can enjoy the view. Next to those restaurants, there's also a lake view bar and a cigar lounge, a brasserie, a taverna, and the osteria. So you can see there are different kinds of cuisines, so everyone will find something delicious to eat there. Then, of course, also here, there is a spa. They have an indoor pool, an outdoor pool here, and of course the infinity pool. Also here you can see the location is just perfect on the mountain, so you can have I would say also 360-degree view. And on the picture on the right hand side on the bottom, this is an example of a room. So some of the rooms even have their private bathtub in the room integrated. And now we can have a look at the Birkenstock collection, where you see some impressions of the Birkenstock resort, and there are other properties in Switzerland. So from one beautiful property, we'll move to another one. More precisely, we will find our way to Engelberg, and Shiva will guide you through the Kempinski Palace Engelberg now.
Hi everyone, a very warm welcome to Kempinski Palace Engelberg. My name is Shiva, and I'm going to give you a small tour today. Follow me. This is the winter garden, where actually our afternoon tea is taking place. A very cozy, nice and warm place to be. My favorite corner, handmade cakes. Hey guys, it's me again. Mark, our bar manager. I always like to disturb. Hey Mark. Hi. Follow me. So this is the beautiful bar where all our guests enjoy a beautiful and delicious cocktail, drink, coffee, whatever Mark is serving, it's going to be perfect. Right now we are exactly in our historical part of the hotel, which was built in 1904. We have 5 floors, 129 rooms in all the floors. We're going to go also in our spa, which is on the 5th floor. We also have a ski room for winter. And of course, we're going to have a sneak in our beautiful restaurant, the restaurant Catani. In total, we have 9 different categories, element suites, and right now I'm going to show you our Belle Epoque room. Heaven for our kids is exactly here. Right now we are in our beautiful spa on the 5th floor with an infinity pool, gym, sauna and relaxing area. We also have a sauna for only our ladies, so follow me and have a small tour. Don't forget to treat yourself. Come in. We just arrived in our restaurant Catani, where the breakfast is taking place and also our beautiful dinner. Follow me. Our delicious breakfast is a combination of a buffet and a la carte, where you can order nice bowls and for sure pancake or French toast. You all enjoyed the small tour. I'm looking forward to welcome you here in Kempinski Palace Engelberg. All the best.
So this was the last video for today, and we will end our webinar presentation with the last hotel in the Lake Lucerne region, and this is the Radisson Blu Hotel in Andermatt. So Andermatt is a little mountain village which can be reached within 1 hour from the city of Lucerne. It's the perfect getaway if you just want to feel pure nature and if you prefer it in a more quieter area. So that's quite an insider tip, I would say. And if you travel to Andermatt, the best place to stay, of course, is the Radisson Blu Hotel. It is surrounded by mountains, as you can see on the picture here. And next to the beautiful rooms, which I will show you right now, my personal highlight is the breakfast buffet. It's super delicious and I could spend 1 day there and just eating breakfast. So here you have some impressions of the rooms. So it is a Radisson hotel, but I would say the style is kind of different. So it's the Alpine style. And for me, I think it looks quite nice. In total, there are 244 rooms, and they also have residences to rent. So if you have a huge family vacation planned, or your clients prefer to rent apartments, this would also be a great opportunity. For the residence users, they can also access the spa and the gym, so they can profit from the hotel services. The spa has also a sauna and a steam bath, and the pool has beautiful windows where you see right to the snowy mountain peaks. So that's quite cool. Andermatt as well is an all-year-round destination. So in winter, it is a very famous skiing resort. So many Swiss people travel to Andermatt for their winter vacation to do some skiing or snowboarding. You can also go snowshoe hiking or just enjoy the snow with a stroll through the old village. And in summer, there's a lot of sporting activities, but it's also just very nice to be up there, to enjoy the fresh air, to do some small hikes. And for the ones who are into golfing, there's a beautiful golf court. So definitely something to do all year round. And for here, if you have some questions about Andermatt or the Radisson, you can always let me know. I used to live and work in Andermatt, so I know the region quite well. So please don't hesitate to contact me. Now we already reached our second poll question. So I was wondering, and I would like to know, which of the hotels that are presented right now are your clients most likely to book?
Very good question, Charmaine. I'm getting a lot of responses coming in. What would you say is your favorite hotel? Let's ask you that.
Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I would say the Radisson Blu in Andermatt. I think it's super nice, but also, I mean, I've never stayed at the luxury hotels, but I think this must be a great experience.
Sure. Friends, again, please put your responses in the polls tab on your screen. On your screen, there's a poll pop-up that has come. On that, please put in your responses. Do not put it in the chat tab. We don't count the votes that are coming in the chat tab. So I've got a very interesting mix. Mandarin Oriental is at 30%. Bergenstock is at 26%. Kempinski is at 18%. And Radisson is at 25%. So I think the audience today likes all the hotels that you have recommended.
That's very good to hear. Happy to hear that.
Thank you. Let's go ahead.
Thank you for the votes. So yeah, that was basically it from my side. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. I hope you got some interesting insights, and we will end with the last question. And I'm really curious if you liked this kind of webinar. So we had a lot of videos. We tried to cover many partners. So I was just wondering if you enjoyed this kind of presentation or if you prefer the regular ones.
Friends, like Charmaine said, we've tried something new today. We've tried something different. We've tried to give you walk-arounds as well. We try to show you more than just photographs. We would love to get your response and your feedback. So 80% of our audience today enjoyed this format and 20% prefers presentations.
Okay, so the majority likes it. Happy to hear. We will see how we continue with the webinar format in the future, I would say. Thank you so much again for your attention, and then I will hand over to Ameya.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was a great way of communicating the various things available for our travelers in and around Lucerne. Of course, the videos, the walkthroughs, it gave us a great perspective of the various hotels as well as the mountains. And I'm sure all our attendees are now extremely excited to get a glimpse of sell Lucerne to their clients a bit more. And they've seen a little bit more as well. So maybe some more overnights in Lucerne for you as well. Great. So for the travel trade in attendance, along with our colleagues at Lucerne Tourism, Switzerland Tourism is also at your service. We're based in the Consulate General of Switzerland in Mumbai, and we're always happy to help. We have a few things that we created for the travel trade to help you guys sell Switzerland a bit better. One is, of course, our website, which is the encyclopedia for all our touristic offerings. You can find all the information about the various mountains, the hotels, the excursions, activities here, along with useful contact information. We have a trade corner on our website where we've put a lot of helpful tools and links for you to refer to. We also have a LinkedIn page where we put up a lot of updates about various products and offerings, as well as keep you up to date with our activities in the market. And yes, our webinar recordings are also available on our trade corner, so you can refer to them. This one will also be made available within the next 48 hours. So in case you want to refresh your knowledge, you are free to log on and view them as well. We have a B2B sales manual for you too. It's a helpful guide tool. Also can be downloaded from our trade corner. So please do download it. Keep it as a reference point when you're selling Switzerland. It has a lot of information about excursions, insider tips, the trains, etc. So it'll be quite a handy tool for you. And yes, if you want to learn a little bit more about Switzerland, our extensive e-learning program is at your service. It's called the Switzerland Travel Academy. Complete all the core modules and the latest news section. Become a certified Switzerland travel expert. We have specialized modules as well on our website about different things like family, holidays, luxury, etc. You get specialized certifications too. You can access it via our website, Trade Corner, once again, or even log on to india.switzerlandtravelacademy.ch. That's india.switzerlandtravelacademy.ch. We have a fun activity for those that complete all the core modules and become certified Switzerland travel experts. You get a chance, if you complete the entire program by the end of this year, that's 31st December 2024. If you're one of the top scorers, you get into a lucky draw, and 3 of you would be selected for the 2025 fam trip as well. So would recommend, if you want to learn about Switzerland and then sell Switzerland, please do go through our e-learning program and complete all the modules. I'm at your service. I handle all the B2B activities for leisure travel on behalf of Switzerland Tourism in India. If you have questions, queries, please feel free to contact me, drop me an email, or send in your queries on india.trade@switzerland.com. That's india.trade@switzerland.com, and we will be able to get back to you at the earliest. With that being said, it's time for the Q&A session. A lot of questions poured in during Jamin's presentation. So Jamin, I'm going to start with the first one. So the Lucerne city train that you mentioned, does it have any discounts with the Swiss Travel Pass?
Unfortunately not. No, the city train is not included, but the price is 15 Swiss francs for the adults. So quite reasonable, I would say, for Swiss standard.
And what is the routing exactly? Where does it start from and where does it end? Or can you hop on, hop off anywhere?
No, you cannot hop on, hop off. And the routing, it changed. Now I'm not quite sure. So it's I would say at a very popular place. So you just hop on there and then you do like the whole routing. But there's even a homepage to the city train. So if you just type it into Google, city train Lucerne, and then you will find it. It's also available in English.
Great. Thank you so much. The second question is, you mentioned Indian restaurants, but now I got the opposite. Usually we always get those queries, but people want to know where could they find a list of authentic Swiss restaurants in Lucerne?
Mm-hmm. So there are many different restaurants. We have Italian, Indian, whatever. But I would say a very authentic one is the restaurant Bürgerstube. It belongs to the Hotel Wildenmann, and they serve the very typical Lucerne dish, the so-called Rügeli Pastetli. So it's kind of a puff pastry with creamy sauce with meat, but there's also like a vegetarian option, and it's served with vegetables.
And for more options, of course, they can log on to your website, Lucerne.
Yes, there's a whole listing of restaurants with a small description, what kind of cuisine. So the offer is quite big.
Great. The third question is, your recommendations, your personal recommendations as a local for family-friendly activities in and around Lucerne. What do you think are the top 3, top 5 things that people can do?
So, of course, the mountain excursions are always a highlight. So you saw in the video of Manuela on Frekmündeck, like the middle station, there's like a small playground, there's a rope park. So that's super nice for families. Then there's also some kind of food trails in the city, which the locals like to do. And yes, of course, the cruise on Lake Lucerne is always a highlight, even for the kids. There's the very old steamboats where you can see how the engine works and how the boat is going. So when I was a child, that was super interesting for me. My father always explained us how it works. So yeah, I would say those 3 are kind of the highlights.
I would also put in the Swiss Museum of Transport because that's like one of my favorite spots in Lucerne.
Of course, thank you, Ameya. No, yes, of course. So that's definitely a highlight. I also already talked a lot about it.
I go there every time I'm in Lucerne.
Very good.
And one really interesting question. You mentioned the Lilu Light Festival and the Christmas markets in Lucerne, which are predominantly winter. You know that the Indians prefer traveling around our summer season. Are there any events that you recommend that clients can attend, or is there some place that they can keep a tab of events so that they can be plugged into the itinerary if at all clients are traveling at that time?
Mm-hmm. So on our website lucerne.com we have the top events listed, so you will see all the events for this year. And for summer, my personal recommendation would be the Lucerne Live. So it's in July, I think, 2 weeks during July, and that's very nice. So we have a lot of food stands in front of the train station, in front of the Cultural and Convention Center. We also have it on the other side of the lake, in front of the Mandarin and everything. So there are a lot of food stands, free concerts, and it's just a very cool event which takes place during the 2 weeks.
Nice. I think it's an interesting one to factor into an FIT July, I think, for sure. A couple of questions now, because the Swiss Travel Pass is extremely popular. So with regards to Pilates, the Museum of Transport, and the cruise, what are the discounts, benefits with the Swiss Travel Pass?
So the train and the boats are fully covered by the Swiss Travel Pass. And then there are 3 mountain excursions which are also included. So it is Rigi I talked about. Then there's Mount Stoss and Mount Stanzerhorn. They are covered. And for the other excursions, for instance, Pilatus, it's 50% off. And the museums, most of the museums are included. But for the Swiss Museum of Transport, it's also a 50% discount.
Fantastic. And one more question came in regarding the cruise, where basically they wanted an update on the famous Indian dinner cruise that used to be there once upon a time. Is it going to come back? And secondly, if somebody has to have a meal on board, it's of course chargeable, right? But do you recommend booking the table in advance, or can they just enter the boat and grab a table?
So I would say for the reservation, the table reservation, it depends a little bit on the time you're taking the boat. So if it's during the day, I would say no problem at all. You can just go there. But in the evening, also the local people after work, they enjoy a cruise. So then it might be better to place a reservation. Regarding the Indian dinner cruise, it does not exist anymore as it used to. But Merit explained that they have, you can charter a cruise and then they can organize the catering with the Indian restaurant. So this is kind of an alternative option.
Great. The next question is with regards to, unfortunately, Indian food at the Bürgenstock and the Mandarin Oriental. Is it possible by any chance?
Probably yes. I mean, these are luxury hotels. If you have special wishes, you can always contact them. There's no Indian restaurant like permanently in there, but they are very qualified chefs. So I'm sure the concierge or someone from the staff can assist you if the wish comes up for Indian meals.
Great. And now this is a very complicated question, but this comes in from the travel trade all the time. According to you, how much time should an Indian client spend in Lucerne? How many days? How many overnights? And what can they do? Your perfect Lucerne itinerary.
I would say, I mean, perfect would of course be, I don't know, 5 days, but you can also manage within 2 or 3 days, I would say. So maybe 2 nights, you have an early arrival, then you can do 1 mountain excursion for the whole day. Next morning, you go to the Swiss Museum of Transport. In the afternoon, you take a panoramic cruise, and then the next morning, maybe there's the departure already, or just some free time to discover the old town, of course. Maybe you want to attend a guided city tour. So 2 days minimum, I would say.
That's right. I mean, it's the ideal group as well as an FIT plan when you see any program from India. But I would recommend also, if correct me if I'm wrong, for those who want to kind of base themselves in one destination and explore central Switzerland, Lucerne is that perfect gateway because you're well connected to Zurich, Interlaken, Basel, Bern by train, as well as mountain excursions like Titlis, Pilatus, and as well as the other ones like Jungfrau, for example. So you can actually explore Switzerland being based out of Lucerne as well. So it's a good opportunity if you want to factor it in for your clients.
Yes, I agree, Ameyo.
Great. Thank you so much, Jamin. It was a pleasure having you for this webinar. And I'm sure all our attendees loved every minute of what you had to say and learned a lot from you about the different products. We're looking forward to a lot of Indians visiting Lucerne this year. And we're looking forward to a bumper season from our market as well. And of course, if you guys need anything, you're free to reach out to Jamin or me for any questions, queries, and we're happy to assist you. With that being said, now the fun activity that Devika mentioned that we do at the end of every webinar is to bring you to the quiz. Now, the quiz gives you a chance to earn a trip on the 2025 fam trip to Switzerland as well. And this is specifically for all the Indian outbound travel agents who have attended this webinar. Answer only the questions provided via the link from DDP webinars. Those that send in emails to us, etc., they will not be considered. The deadline is 7 p.m. today. And post the deadline, we will not be entertaining any answers. So if you've tuned into all our webinars this year, and answered all the quizzes and you're one of the top scorers, then you again enter into a lucky draw and we will pick 3 of you to join us on our fam trip to Switzerland next year to ensure you put in all the required information at the time of registering for the quiz. And we wish you the best of luck. Please do give it your go. Hopefully you guys have paid a lot of attention and we look forward to then seeing you next week. We have a webinar in place for Zurich tourism, and we will send the links out to you guys very shortly as well. So thank you again so much for being a part of our webinar. Thank you, Jamin, and thank you, Devika. And we wish you a great evening and a fantastic week ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
See
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tantis. Friends, the link is live. It's the same link in the offer section and in the chat tab. So like I promised, please go in and respond to the quiz. Stand a chance to win a trip to Switzerland by answering all these simple questions. So please go in and respond. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being a lovely audience today. Thank you for responding. Thank you for participating in the webinar. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.